Hello, I'm Mariana Danilovich with Ultra Live TV, and we're here at Digital Hollywood Spring with Alan Friel from Wildman Herald, a partner who started their LA office and runs entertainment and media practice.
Hi, good to be with you today.
So, Alan, you're an expert in regulatory issues for entertainment, media, and digital media companies. What's going on in that space?
Well, 2010 is really going to be the year of privacy. The FTC has thrown open COPPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and basically said to industry and to consumer advocates, should we even keep it? How should we change it to meet evolving technology? What should we do? At the same time, the FTC spent the last year engaged in public hearings with respect to behavioral advertising, contextual advertising, and announced last week that they're going to throw open the privacy regulatory scheme far broader than just behavioral, but to look at all online and offline privacy collection, sharing, and use. And just yesterday, Bocher introduced his long-awaited bill that would have Congress creating a single federal statutory scheme for the regulation of collection, use, sharing of consumer information. And that would, again, include both offline and online. So I think this year we're going to see the privacy scheme that we've been operating under for the last 7 or 8 years completely subject to change.
In terms of businesses that are here, the digital media content-driven businesses, how will that affect their revenue generation opportunities?
Well, I mean, anyone with a website, anyone who's involved in online marketing, it affects. Data has become one of the most valuable commodities of the digital market. Digital, unlike analog, gives us the ability to identify certain consumer segments and to send them contextually relevant ads, to communicate with them better, to manage our consumer database. Frankly, a lot of consumers think that's creepy. And they don't appreciate necessarily that they're getting a diaper ad when they have a newborn as opposed to a truck ad and vice versa. But people are concerned about to what degree they're being spied on, to what degree that information is being used and shared with others. And because industry really hasn't done a great job in educating consumers about that, we're now going to be regulated by people who may not necessarily understand our business.
Would this affect social networking sites as well?
Absolutely, and in fact, there were hearings in congressional committees just this week about Facebook's recent changes to its opt-out scheme for sharing information when you're on third-party connected affiliated sites. And several members of Congress have said that's going to be part of the regulatory scheme. They've asked the FTC to look at it, and I suspect that by the time Bocher's bill gets before Congress for a vote, if it ever does, that'll be a part of it as well.
And what about the video sites, video sharing, user-generated sites?
Well, that continues to be an issue both for content owners and content distributors. Viacom YouTube case is still percolating along. Fortunately, here's one area that industry's done a pretty good job of working things out by themselves. Disney spearheaded an effort called the UGC Principles, which a lot of the online publishers have signed on to with the major content companies. And basically the scheme works like this. Content company will identify its content with digital fingerprints, provide usage rules. For instance, you can have up to 2 minutes playing, that's promotional, or you can have also whatever as the content owner you want your business rules to be. The publisher then scans its content files daily, identifies the content that belongs to the content owners that does not meet those requirements, and takes it down. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act has some amorphous language about, in order to be subject to the safe harbor, websites should be employing current technology to prevent infringement. It appears that industry started to come up with a consensus of what that is, And frankly, I would much rather have industry regulating itself than some 80-year-old judge that doesn't even have email trying to decide how the digital world ought to police itself.
So it's going to be a very interesting time in the next year or two to see how much freedom we will actually have on the web.
Yeah, well, you know, it continues to be exciting time. I mean, we're fortunate to be in an industry that is evolving. I like to call it evolving media rather than new media because it's not so new anymore, as you and I know. But the fact that it continues to evolve makes it exciting. We continue to refine the legal scheme. We continue to refine the business models. And it makes it an industry that is more capable of growth than the older industries and therefore a lot more exciting.
And when you're in that exciting industry, having Alan Friel on your side is usually my best case scenario. Thank you.
Very kind of you. Thanks.